Wait, they laughed when she left America to marry an African village man. Laugh, don't judge. Is this real?
After we talked about ministry, made sure everything matches up, and everything did match up because God told us that we were meant to marry each other. Then we just talked to my parents, and he talked to his mom, and we scheduled the wedding.
I give myself to you.
Wait. Whoa. Before we get to the wedding, at least they gotta give us the background story, right? Cause I'm so invested. I am so invested. I wanna know how
As
they got
my
here, bro.
only love in life, to love you, honor you, cherish.
What is love? Well, everyone can have their desired definition of love. But when you ask Kelly Joy Wanyoni, an American woman living in rural Kenya, she will tell you that love means sacrifice.
I quit my job, and I took all of my volunteer activities with church and gave them to someone else. I sold my car. I ended my contract with my apartment. I sold my piano. I used the money from the car and the piano to buy a one-way ticket to Kenya.
She loved a man in Kenya whom she could never talk.
What? This is crazy, bro. This is oh my god, this is peak YouTube. Peak YouTube. This is oh my god, bro.
to. She married a man here who had a strange proposal. But throughout this story, you will learn how love can make you do strange things
They have kids already.
and why strange things in love can turn out to be blessings.
Alright, I
Every
feel like
year, more than 4 million Africans try to immigrate to the United States, but only 200,000 manage to achieve that. But what if I tell you that there are Americans who literally leave their paradise country to come to Africa?
alright, girl, alright. America is not paradise. It used to be a paradise, now it's not. Now it's a unless let's see. Let's see the next year elections. Let's just watch 2024 elections, well, how will it go? If it's gonna continue being a shithole. The way I mean, all I'm trying to say is the way that America is heading right now, it's heading to chaos. It's into a shit show. It used to be cool. We'll see with elections, bro.
I mean, what can possibly
I don't wanna get political already.
make you leave a country everyone wishes to live in, to simply go and live in a certain African country? Sure enough, it's not money, nor is it some sort of good life. But then it can be love.
In my heart, I was hurting because I was falling in love with Albert because God told me he was my husband, so I allowed myself to have.
How did you guys meet? Tell me, how did you guys meet? What app did you guys use? I want this guy. I know what I want. I want this guy to give me fucking pickup lines. I want this guy to teach me the game. This guy has a game. I am gonna make it the title of the video. I'm gonna say this, the number one race god in Africa. This guy made a wife to cross the country, sell his cars, house. No, that's not a house, but end his contract, quit his job for him. This guy is a Riz god.
Have feelings for him.
You heard it right. Love can take you from the United States and bring you all the way down to Africa, down its most rural areas to be precise. And if you think we are exaggerating, let me introduce you to Kelly Joy Wanyoni.
My name is Carrie Joy Wanyoni.
The American-born Joy was raised in a Christian family, and it took her just 8 years to know her role in life. She had a vision which showed her that she would serve as a missionary in Kenya and that she would be a farmer. A few decades later, here she is in Kenya, and here we are talking to her.
My dream as a kid was to.
Okay, I wanna know this. I'm sure she about this. Did she wanted to come to Kenya before he met this guy, or he wanted to come to Kenya after he met this guy? That's the question.
Be a missionary and a farmer, but I didn't know I could do both. And here I am in Bungoma, Kenya, doing both of them now.
Now, she lives in a very remote town of Bumala in the far east of Kenya. We traveled more than 480 kilometers across roads, railroads, and rivers to come here and learn everything about her passion, but mostly her incredible love story.
Hmm. HP's everywhere, right? I'm just looking at this laptop here.
When we went to visit them, we were warmly welcomed by Albert Wanyoni, the husband of Kelly Joy Wanyoni, and a motorist. The two beautiful souls live in this very remote village with their kids, including the firstborn boy, Zachariah, and their lastborn daughter. As we arrived that morning,
Whoa,
Joy was
wait,
just
wait,
waking
wait,
up.
wait.
Zachariah. Beautiful souls live in this very remote village with their kids, including the firstborn boy,
Zachariah.
Zachariah,
Alright.
and their lastborn daughter.
Daughter. Their lastborn's name, it's daughter. I'm gonna switch on YouTube titles, and they're gonna say their last name, their lastborn, it's daughter. That's the name of their kid. The name of their lastborn, it's daughter. You know, I've heard this story before, and I didn't even know it's true. There are countries in Africa they name their kids based on the names, like names we use every day. Like for this one, Dora. There's a joke that Trevor Noah made. The screwdriver, and then there's teaspoon. You know, there's yeah. You know, there's keys. There's 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 how I don't even know. There's people named Jay-Z's headphones out there. There's people named, they are named hoodies, JC, they are named socks. Yeah, brass socks. Yeah, it's like they're named. Oh my god, bro! Their name of their daughter is Dora.
As we arrived that morning, Joy was just waking up and preparing breakfast. Everybody was served, including these children, who always spend their mornings here to get some good tea mixed with milk, a typical breakfast for most Kenyans.
My wife is Kelly. Is on your neck. This one is to us home.
Okay, let me.
Joka.
Kazi yangu ya kwanza ilikuwa kazi ya kuweka mawe kwa lori. Ya alafu nikaacha nikaenda kazi ya pili ilikuwa bodaboda, pikipiki. Ya
It all started with a calling to leave everything behind and head to Kenya. That October 2017, Joy shattered her life for good. She was a young, educated lady who had a job, a car, and an apartment in the United States, ready to live her dream life like any other dedicated young person. But her life had a different destination, and she would not live in the United States, but in Kenya. She already knew this, but had chosen to take her time and prepare, until she was ordered by God to simply leave everything behind and come to this magnificent.
They're giving her half the story. I wanna know, where did they meet? Where did they start talking? You know, I know this guy will never give us his talking lines. He will never give us his game, but at least we can get an idea.
Country.
Jesus Christ!
She
I feel like they're stalling, man.
hesitated, but eventually gave in. Then she sold everything she had to take a one-way ticket to come to Kenya.
I'd been having several visions and words from God about coming to Africa, coming to Kenya, and he moved and spoke to me and told me that now is the time. That I didn't need to wait for a convenient time or a perfect time. He was calling me to come to Kenya just then.
The couple lives in a very small house with just one room and a small living room, which also serves as the store and kitchen depending on the weather outside. It has also a very small window and a small office table with laptops atop. This is where Joy can perform some of her office duty. With all her duties accomplished in the morning, Joy will finally have some time to sit on her laptop to do some work, if it needs to be done. But this is not a very fun thing to do while keeping her eye on her children and the other children outside, who might move out to destroy things if they're not kept under constant monitoring. This time around, she decided to show us some pictures she has in her laptop with her husband.
Are they gonna fucking tell us where they met, bro? Okay, let me just. Oh my god, how old is this video? 2 weeks? This is fresh, new content.
Ground nuts and beans.
Yes.
These ones were taken as the couple was still enjoying their time together before marriage and a little after their marriage. It was a moment of deep nostalgia. Speaking of marriage, theirs was not your ordinary marriage.
I mean, you know the reason why I want to find out if she wanted to come to Kenya before he met the guy or before, because I think it will bring us too much light to relationship. You know why okay, let me explain where I'm going with this. So be patient. Alright, you motherfuckers, be patient, because I know I'm terrible at explaining. The reason why I want to find out if he met the guy before he moved to Kenya or he moved to Kenya before is because I feel like the reason for her to move to Kenya would be because of, I want to find out the reason why she moved to Kenya is because she fell in love with this guy while they were chatting online or whatever, obviously, or she just wanted to move to Kenya, like out of, before he even met the guy, before she had no plans and stuff like that. The reason why is because she mentioned that she sold her car and quit her job and bought a one-way ticket to Kenya. My idea of trying to understand how was she planning to survive once she got into the country without knowing anyone? That's what I'm trying to find out with this old story. Now they're showing us random stuff. Come on, bro.
Given that Albert was not even able to speak English.
And he couldn't speak English. He just greeted us in Bukusu. And he told us that he'd been praying for us along with the rest of the team. And as he was speaking and talking about how God was speaking to him, God spoke to my heart. He said, that man is your husband. And that's why you didn't get married back home. He said, this one's your husband. So I was a little bit excited that God told me who my husband was. But I didn't say anything because to me, I believe that God made the man to pursue the woman. So I waited and I didn't say anything. I said, if I heard right, if this man is really meant to be my husband, he will make a move for me. So I waited. For 3 months, I waited. And he didn't speak to me. If I walked into a room where he was, and I said, let me get to know this man who's supposed to be my husband, I would go to the room and he would run away. As soon as I got in the room, he would run.
No, man. No, that's not the reason we are watching this video. No, this is not the picture I imagined. I thought this guy has the riz. I thought he was the riz god. I was gonna call him the riz god of Africa. That's something like that. I was gonna call him that. This guy was supposed to be the guy to guide the future. He was supposed to open an online school, teach African kids how to make West women fall in love with them so that they can quit their job and whatever and come and live with them in Africa, in a remote area. This was supposed to be the guy. This is the picture I imagined. Now they telling me this guy was shy, he would run to another room. Oh my god. They are ruining the story in my head. My fantasy in my head is getting ruined.
Run away.
Oops.
I thought this guy, Albert, he doesn't like me. He's running away from me for a reason. So I asked his brother one day, I said, does your brother not like me? Did I do something to offend your brother? And then after that, Albert and I started talking, but he didn't know English. God gave me a vision, and he showed me that Albert was married to me. He showed me that without speaking any language, our hearts understood the other one's heart. I prayed when I got up that morning, and I said, God, if this vision you've given me is of you, I understand that we know each other, that we understand the heart of the other person, and thank you. But please, allow one of us to learn the language of the other one. Because if we're to have children, if we're to run a household, we have to communicate somehow. So that day, household, we have to communicate somehow.
Oh my god, bro. I don't want to talk shit, but Jesus Christ, this kid has a big head, bro. You know, I know I have one. You know, I know I'm one of, at least I know. I know I got a big one too, but come on, for her age, Jesus Christ, for daughter's age, Jesus, this is Albert's head. This is definitely Albert's head, bro. Okay, what's wrong with my headset right now?
Now, so that day, the same day, I didn't know Albert was also praying at home. for some time to be able to talk to me. God told Albert, speak English with Carrie, and he gave him the understanding of English. So he had small, kidogo understanding of English.
I just want to say this. I talk shit about a lot of African countries, but I just want to say this. A lot of people from Kenya that I know of, seen on TV, in different, or I met in real life, they all know English. They all know English. I would say it's more common in South Africa to find people who can't speak English than it is. I don't know much. Okay, I've never been to Kenya, but comparing to the people I've met, in people from different countries, in just like Nigerian, I'll give you an example, like Nigerian people. It's very rare to find a Nigerian who can speak English. It's one of those people from Kenya, Nigeria. It's very rare to find one who can speak English. Most of them that I meet, especially maybe in South Africa, they speak English.
So he came to the compound that I was staying in with the ministry, and he just greeted me in English. He said, "How are you?" Which I had never heard him say one word in English. I was very excited. I said,
Let me tell you what was happening. What's her name? Joy? I forgot her name. Let me tell you. Albert was learning English for that past 3 months. The past 3 months, she was praying that Albert should persuade him. Albert was learning English.
I'm fine. We say I'm good back home, but here people say I'm fine.
On his side, Albert was dying alone. He clearly loved this woman, but had absolutely no idea on how he would present this idea, given that the two were raised in different cultures and had different languages. But being a man on a mission himself, Albert didn't agree to give up. He decided to follow up his flower gift with another ride across the town, which initially served to help Joy know around, even though he was ready to use the opportunity in his favor.
Hiyo siku ya kwanza kwangu nilikuwa na react.
The first time I saw her, I fell in love with her, but I kept my feelings to myself. As we talked and met multiple times, my feelings for her grew, and that...
I want to see the comments of this video. Should we check out? Alright, let's check out. I'm going to finish watching this video. I want to check out like first 3 comments. Alright, I wish they had their own YouTube channel so they can be supported by viewers around the world. God bless their marriage. Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Alright. I raised by a hat. What is that hat? To Kelly. I'm an American who's married to an African man. I never look back. You can't help who you fall in love with. It's just right, just now. Okay. Every marriage that God is involved in is fulfilled with happiness. Alright. Just few comments will...
That's when I made a decision to tell her how I feel, even though it was very difficult. She wanted to know what I was trying to express. After some 3 days, I decided to approach her and...
But to be honest, Albert is a cheese boy. Like, look at Albert, obviously. Albert is a cheese boy. Look at him. He supports Arsenal as well. Fuck him for that. Arsenal. Is Arsenal still on top of the league? Let me check out, bro. Oh my god, no, I didn't. Where was I? Oh my god, I didn't. We were at Albert. Okay, we were here. I want to check out if is Arsenal still on top of the league. Premier League. Is it still on top? Table? Fuck, still on top. Jesus Christ.
3 days, I decided to approach her and try to speak English with her to see if we can somehow communicate. It was the first time I talked to her, and my first word to her was, "I love you." I said it in Kiswahili, not in English. She asked me to repeat it, and I got afraid that I might spoil the whole thing. Joy was able to notice that Albert had struggled a lot to express his feelings, but most importantly, she came to fully comprehend what he wanted. It fitted so perfectly on both sides, since each one was promised by God to marry the other.
But I was so worried because here in the Bukusu culture, you have to be able to cook ugali and have to cook it very...
We call it pap, right? South Africa. Ugali. I feel like all countries in Africa, right? At least that's what I assume.
well. It's not just like kind of cooking ugali.
Or at least that's what I see most of the time on the TV shows and whatever.
You have to get all the lumps out. You have to make it so it's not sticky. You can handle it well, not too dry. And the mother-in-law is supposed to watch you and see if you can cook good ugali to take care of her son. So that began to trouble my mind. We went to the store. We sat down and we started eating some lunch just there at the store at Tesha. We got some pilau and we were splitting one plate of pilau and saying, I said, Albert, I don't know, I know God told me I'm your wife, but I can't cook ugali. I don't know how. He said, my wife, I will cook the ugali. And that was the moment that I knew he wasn't trying to say I love you because I'm a Mzungu. Because a lot of people will tell you I love you because you're a Mzungu.
What
and
is a
they think you
Mzungu?
can get them back to America.
Oh, cause you're white. Muzungu. Umulungu. Muzungu. Right, I get it.
They think you have some money, something to give to them. I had many people trying to marry me before Albert. But I kept, you can tell when something is fake.
Okay.
But this one was real. And he said, I will cook the ugali. He was stepping outside of the cultural
Guys, I'm telling you, Albert is a race god. Albert got game, bro.
norm so that he can show me that his heart is there.
Without any delay, the two decided to marry, and Joy presented her idea to her parents, who initially worried about how they would communicate, but eventually gave their green light to the marriage. It was hastily arranged and a couple 20 people were invited. Only that around 400 people of the whole village turned up. After the marriage, the couple moved.
It happens everywhere, especially in Africa. You can't just invite. People are gonna show up whether they're invited or not. They're gonna show up.
Moved on with their mission immediately, as the two started their missionaries across the Bumalo area and around Lake Victoria. As children will be playing with their toys all around, Joy will be washing their dishes and their clothes with bare hands. Another demonstration of how deep she has been.
Come on! Why did the narrator have to say that? Washing your dishes with bare hands. I'm going to assume that 90% of the population wash their dishes with bare hands. I know there's dishwashers and out there, but come on, I feel like most people still wash dishes with their hands. It's quick and easier. At least that's what I think.
Been embedded into this African culture. The couple also has a small livestock of hens, which they believe will help them to raise the capital to improve their lives. Despite their happy marriage, the couple had gone through a lot of problems and struggles together.
Right.
Marriage is wonderful, especially when you're married to the right person. There's so many blessings. There's a lot of, your heart is content, but marriage is not without its difficulties. And Albert and I have had a lot of difficulties as we go through life. There were times that I've almost died from sickness, and he's had to come in and be there. He's had to help do things around the house that he doesn't usually do because of the sickness that I had. I had malaria very bad, 2,800 count, and I was almost dead. The doctors had to help bring me back to life. And I was pregnant at the time, so thanks to God, I'm alive, and my son Zachariah, my firstborn, is alive because I was pregnant with him at the time. It was just a complete miracle story. I mean, I could talk for a long time on that one, but I won't. There's times when we don't have anything, and so we can't give. But there's times that God provides miraculously so that we can give. And even if we don't have anything but one meal, we'll always share what we have. And I know it's hard to believe that a Mzungu, a white person living here in Kenya, can be without extra money. And God always provides. But we've had times where we got down and everything in the house, we had like one meal of potatoes left. So I was splitting those potatoes and making meals for the kids and not eating. And praying, God, bring money in. Bring something so we can support this family. And you know that creates stress in a relationship too when you have nothing. But thankfully we both trust God. We both prayed together. And instead of arguing against each other, we believe God is going to come through. So we'll eat what we have, we'll share what we have, and every time, even if I don't speak the words to someone, God always brings in something and provides at the last minute. Sometimes we have...
Did she write this down? I feel like she wrote this down. This is scripted, right? Oh my god, this is beautiful. 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 I feel like she wrote this down. This has to be scripted. She can't be flowing like that, bro.
Everything we need. And sometimes we've had almost nothing, but at that time, God has always proven himself faithful. He's a faithful God.
God is good.
He's Jehovah Jireh, our provider.
You know what? Just for that. That's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Should I? No, I'm not going to. I wanted to play a song now. I'm not going to.
Today, the couple wants to expand their mission and enlarge their missionaries. They plan to engage with more people and also establish school and training facilities dedicated to young people.
You know, people who can come alongside us and help us do the work. People who can donate their time, their effort, or if their heart is in that place to help to get programs running, to help get projects running that can help fund this. So we have some people that help from the US already, mostly for my mom's ministry. But eventually, the vision that Albert and I have, we will have a boys' home officially, not just be helping one and one and one. We'll have a boys' home, we'll have a school, we'll have...
That's a beautiful story, bro. Beautiful story. Even though I'm disappointed that Albert didn't give us his game. Albert, oh, but then they said they're gonna open a school. So what if at that school, Albert teaches us his game, his riz? So yeah, that one I'm down for it. Oh, this is their church, right? I'm going to assume this is their church. I feel like the last ministry, whatever. I feel like did they open a YouTube channel?
We'll have a chapel that the boys can worship at morning and night.
1,700
We'll have
comments.
the worship team practicing all the time together. We also want to have many helps programs to assist people in getting seeds, like widows and people who don't have as much money to get some seed, to get djembes, to get fertilizer, because around here people will plant their fields but they won't fertilize their fields, and they'll end up with cobs of maize that are this small, and then they can't feed their families and they don't have money. So we want to help to plant the fields. We want to help with clothing. We want to help with food. We want to help with job training programs, because the job training programs won't just give out food or give out clothes, but they'll help to raise someone up to a place where they can do it themselves. And that's really the aim, right? You don't want to keep feeding and feeding and feeding, because then you need input from everyone else. You want to get the program to a place where you can raise people up so that they can learn and they can do for themselves, because most people are just looking for something like that in life. They're not looking for someone to support them their whole life. They're looking for a way forward so that they can grow their life, so they can get a start in life, and that's where our heart is. We want to help people like that, but mostly we want to reach...
I can't even pause the video. I can't. I feel like I'm ruining the video every time I pause here. The way she's flowing, whatever she's saying, so beautiful, the music. I feel like I'm ruining it. I'm just ruining the video at this point when I'm pausing. I feel like I'm ruining it.
People with Jesus Christ, and Jesus says they'll know that you're Christians by your love.
God is good.
Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe.
Alright, let me check out this YouTube channel, bro. Alright, let me close other tabs here. I wanna close this. This. Close this. I survived 11 days. What? I survived 11 days inside an active volcano. Okay, I have to watch this. Come on, guys. I have to watch this. Alright, but first I want to check out this YouTube channel. What are they all about? Are they all about this kind of documentaries? Because they're cool, bro. If so, then I'm stuck. I'm subscribing. Oh my god. Oh my god. No. Alright, I'm subscribing. I'm gonna put this to my watch later. Save to watch later. So I don't have to watch it now, but I will watch it, you know? Oh, this is a very cool stuff. I'm subscribing, bro. I'm subscribing. Alright, that's a dope video, bro. That's a dope video. I wanted to check out... What else did I wanted to check out? Oh, I wanted to check out if this is their YouTube channel. Is this their YouTube channel? I think so. Okay. Yeah, I think so. Dope video.